The idea behind the design of the LP1, everything about it is kind of a response to the brand acronym, which for many years now has been like my favorite brand by far. And honestly, before I learned about them, I never gave a single fuck about fashion, like at all. But something about their design language where you can see that it is super expensive, but it's not because they're slapping their logo everywhere. It's not because you're paying for expensive marketing. The idea behind acronym is that it's very minimalist, but it's also super utilitarian. And it's basically design first without any compromise. They don't give a fuck if they have to spend 10 times more than usual in R&D and production costs because it's so difficult to make. And I think you can see that. Not so much in their latest pieces, we'll get to that later, but that's what their vision was originally. And everything about the LP1, which is the thing I make, is kind of a response to the things that I dislike about them. The LP1 is basically what I wish they would make, right? So, in order to explain the thought process, let me show you what's arguably Acronym's best pants that they ever made. And without a doubt, the most popular, which is the P38. Came in many different fabrics, different colors. Here on screen, you have the one that I got, and I think you can see right away, even without knowing anything about fashion or sewing necessarily. Like, you can just see that they put a lot of attention to detail on this. Like, I could try to explain just how difficult it is to make something like this, but I'll just say that it's unbelievably difficult. And Errolson Hugh, the founder of the company, in every single interview where they ask him, he always emphasizes like just how incredibly difficult it is to design these things and also to produce them like physically. And how with almost every single piece, except for like the really simple ones, there's always some kind of unexpected production issue. And he even said in an interview with Hypebeast Radio or something, the interviewer asked him point blank, "What would you tell anyone that's trying to start a company making this style of clothing or this type of bags?" And he literally just said, "Think about it very, very carefully." And yeah, he was not fucking kidding. The amount of times I wanted to kill myself while making the sewing pattern for this, like during the whole design process, it's actually ridiculous. But in the end, it's worth it, I think, because what I made really, well, I'll get to it. But back to the P38. If you look at it in terms of pure aesthetics, it looks like, peak acronym, right? Peak tech wear, peak utilitarianism while also focusing on aesthetics. It's hard to explain what exactly it is about the things that they do that makes it so special. What I like about it is like the silhouette, how it's like baggy but it tapers near the ankle. The material is super nice. It's like very thin, it dries very fast, but it's also extremely abrasion resistant. And I'm actually somewhat in communication with the company that makes that fabric, Nextech, because I'm trying to get a special version of this fabric made for a project I have in the future. But to put it simply, it's the best of the best. The pockets are what Acronym calls tension zips, so the lower part of the zipper is longer than the upper part of the zipper, which means that it bulges out when you open it, which is just like it's really brilliant that they came up with that. And I am basically stealing that for my bag. I am going to pay them like a royalty fee if they ask me, but I mean right now I'm literally a nobody, so I don't think it matters. Anyway, the thing is about the P38, if you look at the pictures, it looks like it's super, super utilitarian. But the thing about acronym that's always frustrated me is that it's not really about being useful. It's more so about looking like it's super useful. So what do I mean by that? So here's the pants without anything in it, right? And it looks super cool. But if you put a bunch of things in it and you actually fill up the pockets with things like you're supposed to, it kind of all falls apart. Like, I mean, you can just look at it. I mean, it looks like garbage, at least I think so. And if you do anything other than a very light walk, everything in the pockets starts swinging around because the pants are so baggy. And especially the lower cargo pockets, like they are literally positioned so they slap against your knee every single step that you take if you put something hard in it. So you're better off just leaving all the cargo pockets empty, and they're basically just decorative, which is just like I'm sorry, but that's just fucking retarded. And at least I think so. And there's so many examples from Acronym of this exact type of complaint. Like, if you look at this, one of the first things they developed, and they actually have a patent for this, it's called interops, where you, I'm not even going to try to explain it. Like, you just look at the footage. Like, it looks super cool, right? It's too bad it's fucking useless. like, unironically, it's completely useless. You just have 3 zippers instead of 1 at the front of your jacket, and like, you know what I mean? Like, if you look at it on a video for the first time, you're like, holy shit, this is amazing. But once you buy it and you've owned it for a few years, it's just like, you know, you just waste a few extra seconds every time you want to zip your jacket, and that's it. Like, it's just fucking dumb. Also, the thing is that the material they use, Next-Tech encapsulated nylon, which they named Epic for some reason. They named the fabric Epic. It's literally a military fabric. They named it Epic. Why? I don't want to think about a fucking 5-year-old playing Minecraft when you whatever. The fabric is a little bit water resistant, but it's not waterproof. So you could go out in the rain with these pants a little bit for a few minutes, but anything more than that, all the contents of your pockets are going to get soaked anyway, so you're better off putting them in a bag anyway. So again, like, the pockets look so cool, but they're fucking useless in practice. And let me remind you, these pants cost 1,700 euros, and that's retail. Like, back in the day, they would resell for more, especially the gray ones. They would routinely be sold for 2,000 euros or more. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. So you can see how I'm fixing that by making a waterproof bag, right? But anyway, we'll get to that later. There's one thing I still want to mention about these pants, which is the cuffs. Again, they look so fucking good, right? At least I think they look fucking amazing. Like, I wouldn't know how to make this look better. And the idea is that it gives this military style pant tucked in boot kind of look. And Errolson Hugh has talked many times about how he uses military style clothing for inspiration, because in his words, the thing that makes military style clothing special is that everything is there for a reason. Nothing is there just for appearance, right? It's all practical because it's life or death, dude. It's fucking maximum utility. After having been in the military, I kind of know that that's bullshit, but you know, he can believe that. But even on top of that, the pant tucked in boot stuff is literally just like if you're going on a military parade, or if there's an inspection. Like, it's not actually useful because you get dirt inside of your shoe, right? The pants have to be over the shoes. But even so, let's say you do wear these pants with military style boots. Like, these are my boots from Crane, you know what I mean? Like, this is the real shit. But the metal zipper is just gonna chafe against the inside of the boot anyway. And I mean, I have leather boots, so it's kind of gonna get even more damage than it already would be. But even so, no matter what kind of lining you have in your boots, like, you don't want a metal zipper constantly rubbing up against it. Like, what the fuck? So you can put it over the boots, but that looks like fucking garbage as well. So it's disappointing when you get super invested into something, get super hyped about something, but then you buy it and you realize that the place where these pants really shine are in the photo room, right? So let's just say that's more or less all of the complaints I have about Acronym, which, let me remind you, I still think it's the best shit that exists anywhere. I haven't seen anything better. There's a bunch of brands that try to imitate Acronym, and they don't even get that right. Like Enfin Levé, like, they're a very nice company, very nice customer service, but they can't even get the crotch right. Like, they don't put enough fabric on the crotch area, so you can't, like, do kicks properly, or you can't sprint properly without the pants shifting around all the time. It's like, Anyway, I feel like I'm yapping too much, but you know, if I make one 45-minute video, who really gives a fuck? So now let's move on to my thing, which is obviously way better in any way, and you should obviously buy 10 leg pouches immediately, and give me a 50% tip, pretty please. So let me summarize real quick all the things I tried to fix. So first of all, obviously the price. Acronym's prices are just way too high. Like, I know they have a lot of good reasons for making them so high, but I don't really give a fuck. Like even if you have the perfect fucking like hiking jacket made out of the best materials, if it costs 2,000 euros to buy, you're not gonna do anything like rough with it anyway, because you're too scared that you're gonna get a cut in it, and then you lose half the resale value, and you lose fucking 800 euros effectively on a single fucking hiking trip. Like, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, that's the first thing. The price, super important, because the price is part of the utility. Second, I want the utility value to be the first thing that matters, not in terms of how it looks on camera, because my thing is very difficult to film. You'll see that later, but it's very difficult to film how useful it is. Another thing is I wanted the inside of the bag to be just as nice as the outside. For example, if you look at these two bags from Acronym, 500 euros, 1400 euros, like for this shit, it's kind of ridiculous on its face, right? But it's even more ridiculous when you look inside. There's a reason they don't have any like camera angles from the very top looking into the bag, because they just use, like, for the backer or the liner, I guess, they use just this cheap fucking polyester that probably costs 5 euros a meter, and they put it inside their 1400 euro bag. Like, I just think that's kind of like ridiculous. And the inside of the bag just doesn't look as good. Again, I want the user experience to be better than it looks on the pictures. I don't want someone to get their hopes up from some pictures and then they get it and then they see, oh, they didn't show this thing, oh, they didn't show this thing, right? I want it to be the opposite. I want it to be like, okay, here's this bag, very nice looking, at least I think it looks nice, and then you look inside and you see way more detail. You see that 70% of the work of what makes it good isn't even visible to people looking from the outside. Like, only, you know, it's visible to you and the people you show it to, right? That's what matters to me. Also, I want to mention real quick, the thing I'm making, the LP1, it's so much more difficult to make than the shit Acronym makes. And let me remind you, I'm selling this for 300 euros, including the belt, right? Like, I made this. Look, I made this. I hope this is in the shot. One sec. Okay, it's perfectly in the shot, right? I actually improved on their design a little bit. I added, zippers here to the top of the pouch so it doesn't flop around, magnetic buckles, right? Even with that, this is like, don't get me wrong, their stuff is very difficult to make, but again, my shit is like, by comparison, it's just a joke. Like, it's ridiculous. And, you know, one of the reasons why I can keep the price this low is because it is a small thing. Like, a whole pair of pants, that's 3 meters of fabric, depending on what you're making. But because I'm just making like this small thing, I'm not using that much fabric, so I can put so much attention to such a small thing. One thing that was super important to me with this was fixing the thing that it swings around. With every pair of cargo pants, you can't actually put anything heavy inside because it just starts fucking swinging around if you run. And, you know, what's the point if you can only walk around? And it was really, really difficult, like figuring out the design in a way that you can take it off, put it on, like as quickly as possible, but still it doesn't shuffle around, right? But, you know, I made it work in the end. I'm super fucking proud of what I've created. Let me just, like, be blunt about that. Another thing is, you know, I mentioned that Acronym takes a lot of inspiration from, like, military stuff. The 3A1, it says on their website, German military hardware. Like, I know they're just kind of saying that, like, it's not a legally binding thing, obviously, but, like, you know, I think that's kind of scummy. Because, obviously, a fucking shoulder bag with no cushioning that's swinging around everywhere when you run, like, that's fucking useless in the military. So, with the LP1, You saw probably in the footage somewhere that you can put a magazine pouch inside, and you actually can reload, like it works perfectly. Only for pistol mags, though. Don't try to fit a rifle mag into this thing. But, that being said, this still isn't military quality, because you have an exposed zipper. If you crawl around in the dirt with this thing, probably the zipper's gonna jam. Like, it's just a bad idea. If that's something that bothers you, though, I will be making an actual military version of this bag maybe about a year from now. It depends. I have to order 170 meters of like this super expensive new zipper YKK developed. It's probably gonna cost me. Let's just say it will cost me a lot. So, in terms of design, in terms of the bag itself, in terms of the utility it provides, I think you can see pretty clearly what my thought process was, right? But there is more to it. Because, as I've said in previous videos, this isn't the main thing in my life, right? Making bags is fucking cool. Especially since, by my standards, I'm the best in the world at this, at this particular thing. But I have much bigger plans. So, the way that I'm trying to make my bigger plans happen is through these bags. Partially through, obviously I need to make money and whatnot. But my whole plan for, making this channel actually attract viewers, I could either, one, I could whore myself out to the algorithm, but I'm just not that kind of guy, you know what I mean? Like, even if I decided to, like, make clickbaity thumbnails and optimize my content for the algorithm, it would just fucking stress me out. Like, even thinking about doing it in such a way just stresses me out. So I am going to make this more boring content. And the way that I'm going to try to attract viewers, I think it's a pretty smart idea. Basically, I'm doing this ad, right? You already saw it play. So what I'm going to do, or what I probably am doing by the time you see this, is that I'm going to select channels where I think that the viewers of that channel, they have some kind of potential. Like, they're the kind of people I'd like to work with. I want to join, my thing, my plans and whatnot. Because the thing about something aesthetical, like a bag, it kind of transcends rational thought. You don't have to explain who you are if you can communicate through things like clothing, through aesthetics, right? You can obviously tell that a girl who looks like this and a girl who looks like that, they're not going to have similar personalities. So what I'm kind of relying on is that the same things that resonate with me should resonate with people that are similar to me, right? So if I put up this ad on videos from this YouTuber or that YouTuber, even if I don't really think their content is that amazing, I can like see why someone like me or someone like me from the past, let's say, would really like that content. And even if just 1% of them think, holy shit, this is amazing, I need to check this out. If I'm right, those are the exact right types of people that I want to be in contact with. And then, hopefully by attracting people that way, the channel itself will also grow, but we'll see about that.